The brightness of this day has given me the opportunity to bring you this video. Welcome back to my channel, Winging It with AC. My name is AC. So a few weeks ago I did a video on 5 reasons you should consider before having a baby, and that was purely it was meant to be funny or comical. Those things are just amusing anyways. And I did say that I was going to do another video to give you reasons why you should have a baby, so this in quotes is the positive side, in quotes. Okay, now the very first one, which has always been at the top of my list, is the fact that you get to see an entire human being grow. So for the mothers, okay, you can't see them growing in your womb, but they are in you, and your belly is expanding, your body is expanding. So you get to see a human being grow, witness them grow. And when I say that, I mean the fact that when they are born, they can't really see. Then a few days later, they can see to a certain distance. They can't turn their heads on their own. Then suddenly they are turning their heads. First, all they can do is just lie down. Next thing you know, now they can push themselves up with some help. They can roll over, and then now they can walk. Now they can pull things down. They begin to learn cause and effect. So it's like every time I realize that Serum is doing something new, I am literally in awe. Honestly, I'm just like, And so when you see those things, the first thing that comes to mind, or the first thing we would say that, hey, this boy is growing, this boy is growing, And the one thing I always say that sounds funny is that it's like, they are human beings. They are literally human beings. That's why I call them little humans. They are human beings. They have brains just like us. It's just that they haven't experienced life yet, and they are yet to develop, to their full capacity, their full potential. But they are human beings. Why are you blowing your horn? Sorry. They are human beings like us adults. It's just that they are yet to get to that point, whatever. So you see, it's like, then the next minute, so it's like Sarah would do something, and then we all get so excited. Hey, he just did this, or and it's like you begin to notice certain things. So with Sarah, I noticed that, and I don't think it's an OCD thing. I don't know if it's every child who has it, but if we finish bathing, he likes to play with the water bit. So when we are done, we're like, Sarah, I'm besting and call. He would actually put things where they are supposed to be. So he knows the pail is supposed to be in the bucket where he's leaving. So he put the pail back. The toys he was playing with, he'll put them back in the basket before he would come. Just last Sunday, I was in the living room with him, and he was, as always, sharing my food with me, right? So I got up from the table and I walked away, and then he ran to follow me, and then he ran back, went to push the chair into the table, and then came back. And there have been so many instances where it's like he put something exactly where it was. The last time I had ice cream, a tub of ice cream, the Blue Skies ice cream, and I had it on the table, and then I had a spoon on top of it, on the lid. And I said, this boy, he will go and grab this thing. But I was just watching him from the corner of my eye, and true too, he went to grab it and the spoon. So I had left the kitchen and I wasn't hearing the boy. I said, what is this boy doing? So I went to peep around the corner, and then he was holding the ice cream, he was holding the other spoon, he was holding the spoon in his other hand. I'm like, hey, fat to her. And then he quickly, I startled him, so he quickly just put the ice cream there. He was about to run away, and he realized he's still holding the spoon. And then I thought he would just leave it on the table or even drop it on the floor, but he actually stretched enough to put it on top of the lid of the ice cream, how he found it, before proceeding to run away. So that's my number one, the fact that I feel like it's a privilege to watch them grow. So it's like they'll be a teen, and then you're like, hey, you were this little human being that first you couldn't do this, you couldn't do that. So that's number one. Number two, they are very entertaining. Little humans are funny. They don't know that they are funny, but they are funny. They do things, and you're like, how is your brain working right now? So let me give an example. When I finished SSS, I was working with a nursery school during the 1 year gap period at home. So I was working with this nursery school, and I was in the 3-year-old class, so I was a class assistant for the 3-year-olds. There was 11 of them in the class. So when they bring their breakfast in the morning, everybody has a tray, and in their tray they have their bowl of porridge, and then they have a plate with a piece of bread in it. Now this girl Angela, when she finished eating, and I can see the, and I'm like, Angela, you haven't eaten? I was like, Auntie, no. First she was like, Auntie, I said I finished eating. And I said, Angela, you've not finished eating. She was like, Auntie, I said I finished eating. And I was like, you've not finished eating. I said, why haven't you eaten your bread? Auntie, I said it's finished. Do you know what she had done? She had lifted the plate and put the bread there and put the plate on top of it. Like, she just, not that she turned the plate over, she just put the plate on top of it. So in her mind, she cannot see the bread because she has hidden it with the plate. So you cannot see the bread. So there's no bread. I finished eating. That did, every time I remember that incident, I just start laughing. I'm like, in her mind, it's not there because she has hidden it with the plate. And another thing that Serum does that cracks me up is the fact that when he enters, I'm like, can you enter a room and just exit without anything? Like, he'll take something he knows he's not supposed to take it, then he'll grab it and start running like full speed. And I'm like, what? Like, right now that you're running, where are you running to? You have nowhere to go. So where are you running to? Like that thing that they say, this meme or whatever it is, like, why are you running? Like, why are you running? You have nowhere to go. Let me tell you one last story. Then we'll move on to point number 3. The other day, I was standing in the living room door. Richard was in the living room, and Sarah was there. And Sarah went and picked something from the table. So I come in, I'm like, hey, what's to her? And I can't remember what it was. And Richard said, hey, put it down. And then we're both shouting, like, put it down. I don't remember what it was. And then we honestly thought he would put it down, but no, he actually tried to escape with it. But I was standing in the doorway. So I'm like, put it down. Why are you trying to run away with the thing? And then he started so he was trying to go past me, and then I would keep blocking him. Then finally he just dropped it, and then he went on his knees trying to crawl out from between my legs. Hey, that did the way I best start laughing. I was like, hey, you this guy think you are smart. You think you are smart. Hey, anyway, so yes, little humans are very entertaining. I don't know about when they grow up into teens and everything, but at least in these early stages, they are very funny. Point number 3 is you have a human being who loves you unconditionally. I don't know how it would be like when they turn into teens. They always say that when they are the teens, they don't want to be near their parents and they're always locked up in their rooms. But as little humans, they always love you. And it's like, to get home and this human being is so excited to see you, it's a really, really, really nice feeling. Like when I get home, from the time he could start crawling, immediately I get home, then he's trying to struggle out of the nanny's hands, and now that he can walk and run, it's like when I get home, he doesn't know what to do with himself. It's like he's excited and he'll be running up and down the corridor trying to do skills, like he doesn't know what to do with himself. And it's just very, 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 very heartwarming. It's like it makes you feel so loved, that like there's a human being who's excited to see you. So there's that. And then there's also the fact that it makes you grow up by force. And this of course doesn't extend to everybody. Some people have decided that even though they have given birth, they don't want to grow up. We are not talking about those people, but it makes you grow up because you now realize that, hey, you have a very big responsibility. There's an entire human being you need to think about. All your decisions basically would revolve around that human being. You know, then you also become resourceful, like especially when you're very, very tiny, and then you're trying to get them to eat, and then one minute they really, really like this food, the next minute they don't, and you're trying to think of creative ways to get them to eat. It's, you end up, you grow up by force, and then you become, if I should say, it forces you to mature even more. If you think you are mature, you even mature even more. Now, I would like to say that children are a blessing, and the Bible says so. So for my Christians, children are a blessing. They are a heritage. They are a reward from God. So they are a blessing, and He gives grace to handle them through every stage that they go through. And then also the fact that there are blessings and there are a lot of work. So don't let anyone pressure you into having children. So you have gotten married, and let's say you and your husband have decided that, you know what, you want to wait for 2 years or 3 years or 1 year before we start trying to have a baby. Don't let people's probing questions saying, why don't you want to have a baby, and when is the baby coming, and what are you waiting for? Don't let anybody pressure you into having a baby. And even if you have one, and let's say you and your partner have decided we just want to have one, don't let anybody pressure you into one is not enough, and also you have to give your child a sibling. Do what works best for your family. Yeah. How can you just stop like that? So we are still on the road to 1K subscribers by the end of February. So people, please, let's make it happen. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.